Hi there, and welcome to yet another episode of Founder Stories with me, Priyanka. And today I've got you a very interesting episode with the founder of HireVire, which is a recruitment automation platform that helps you collect videos and audios from your applicants in and make your recruitment process easier. Also, this episode is brought to you by ProductLogz, a feedback management platform that helps you collect and analyze your feedback from various sources and also helps you publish roadmaps, change log, and collect surveys. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Hi, Sanat. Welcome to Founder
Hey,
Stories, and thanks for being here.
thanks, Priyanka, for inviting me.
Great, great. So I have been following your journey for quite a while, and we have been connected for quite some time, and I know a lot of things. But today we are going to discuss about a lot of other things apart from what you share publicly, and some of your backstory, some of your journey throughout your HireWire journey, and how is it going right now. So just to begin with, why don't you tell us what HireWire is and what do you do in HireWire?
HireWire is a recruitment automation platform. It's a micro SaaS to help you collect videos and audio from candidates who are applying to your job posts. The problem these days is that you get a lot of applications for any job post that you put out. So mostly
Absolutely.
entry level, mid level jobs, right? You're getting like hundreds of people applying every day, and that's a huge burden on the employer side. And to make it easier, basically, we've figured out the solution where you can send the candidates a link or just send them to this page where you can collect videos or audio responses from candidates directly to the basic screening questions that they have.
Oh, that's wonderful because I've recently been going a little bit more like I was just doing some research about HR tech and all, and I found for one particular application, like you have just posted one job and another 15 minutes there are around more than 100 applicants in just 15 minutes. So it has become a huge, I think, just because of I believe one is because of the job markets currently, and secondly, all the layoffs that has been happening. I think the HR specifically or somebody who's recruiting becomes really overwhelmed right now with first of all they have some crunches, they have some cost crunches as well, but they also are overwhelmed with number of applications that they are receiving. So are you playing somewhere in that space to help the HR or to help the recruiting agencies to you know get a better experience or get a better response rate from applicants or something like that?
Yeah, so it's you're on the right lines there. I'm not sure if we can help them get a better response. That's a little bit on the sourcing end, and recruitment is like a spectrum of activities that needs to be done. So there are job boards that let you publicize your job. Then there are applicant tracking systems that let you manage the application from different stages that you have within your company. We are at the first stage, which is the screening, and we are letting recruiters be more productive. So let's say that in an hour they would call up some candidates, like X number of candidates. We can let them increase their productivity and let them screen a lot more candidates. A lot more candidates would hopefully get them to that good candidate much faster. If you're a founder, for example, and you're the usual system is that you would set up a time on your calendar where you're doing screening activities. Like you've got these hundreds of applications, you'll probably send them a link with your calendar and you'll tell them, block out a time that works for you. It might not be a time that works for you. In that case, there is some back and forth. Then they will choose a time, but then it's possible that they might not show up at that time. That happens a lot,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about like entry level, mid level positions. And so founders usually are not really in the screening process themselves. They usually hand it off to someone. That someone has to go through all of these things, but then they're not able to capture all the things that the people who are actually doing the interview needs. So This is a good way to sort of improve the productivity of the recruiters, the
Also, it
hiring
cuts
managers.
down one layer of entire application process. Like you said,
Exactly.
like recruiters are, they do not have time, or the applicants might not have time, and plus the overwhelming applications that they're getting. So you just send a link, you send a screening link, and the applicant can be, at least they can cut down one layer of this application
Exactly.
process. So just
Exactly.
so just rewinding a little bit back, how did you come about the idea, and who are all in your team? What is everybody working on? When did you start? I want to know everything about the
So
start
I'm
of
not
this
really
journey.
good with dates, but we have been building in public. So most of the information is out there that I can sort of reference as well. But Nikhil is my co-founder. We started building products, I want to say in 2021, towards November. We decided to do some SaaS. We built a couple of different products. Those products didn't really work. We tried three different products. Um, One of them, two of them were SaaS products. One of them was an info product that I had built myself. They didn't work for various reasons, but that gave us some learnings about what's the kind of work that we love, what's the kind of things that could be something that someone pays for. So that's how we landed onto this particular project. The first project was like, tell me if I'm going, like if I'm giving you too much information, right? The first
No, no,
project was
we
basically,
need this information, because you see, the reason why I'm asking this is usually somebody who wants to start off, right? And even you must have thought this, and even I have thought it in my journey. If you start off something, you feel, oh, this is the one, this is going to fly. So I think there are a lot of iterations that goes through when you're starting up, when you're launching a product on your own. You first try to do some hit and trial methods, and then you finally come to one space or one product or one technology that really hits it off the ground, and then you realize, yeah, that this is where I want to work at, and this is something that I can sustain for a longer period of time.
exactly. So it's both, right? It's the technology that you need to be comfortable with if you're doing technology sort of backed products, or it needs to be the kind of domain that it's in, or the business that it's in, or the kind of people that you can sort of interact with. So Nikhil and I are like old friends. We wanted to do something together. Nikhil is like a full-time developer. He's actually got that sort of developer hat on all the time. And I'm more of the product person. Like I like to be thinking about like what makes sense for what kind of interaction or what kind of use case and workflow. And at the same time, I was trying to grow like a little bit of an audience online as well. So Twitter was where I was. This is towards November of 2021. We or maybe it's 2022, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, so this is roughly 2 years before. So 2022 sounds more right. Um,
I think starts are blur, no? The
That's a
starting
blur,
point
yeah,
is
yeah. And
always
also, yeah,
blur.
my brain doesn't really like. I don't keep track of dates like usual people do. I think I'm. It's.
No,
Uh,
even with me, I think a lot of us were, if you just ask where did you start, when did you start? No, I think I started somewhere around this time, and it was
Correct,
an
correct,
on and off thing, and then we sort of, so you
correct.
don't really know which date to quote, but yeah, it's okay. I
Exactly.
mean, we
So I
don't
think
want.
2021. That sounds right. So I tried to like recalculate in my head as well. 2021 November, we tried to do a few products. I was trying to build an audience online, so I was getting like regular, consistent on Twitter, and that's when
But what were you
I
doing before that? Like, what is your back? What were you doing before that?
my background, so we going way back
You
now.
way back.
So I actually studied biotech, which is something I was really interested in when I was studying. Most of my friends are like either have done their PhDs or are like executives at like pharmaceutical companies. So that was the role I would have gone in. I wanted to do my PhD. I couldn't get into like a really good college instantly, so I thought I'll take a break here. But But I was also interested in building websites just for fun. And
Okay.
that's something I was making a little bit of pocket money from on the side. I continued doing that. That was pretty decent money as I was growing. And then I also saw what my friends were making, and they were making really like good money. So it's
That's
something
that
that I
that that is where the motivation starts, the digression
correct.
from what you're doing to,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to make money actually. So that's something that was there was a need to make that money also, and something that was like, okay, if you're just interested in doing this, why study for like 5 or 7 more years, then get like a research assistant job somewhere and then start your career. So I couldn't really wait so much, so I continued doing that. And then I was building websites myself for very little money, and then I basically figured out, okay, you can charge more. I started growing my team. I had a couple of employees. I ran that company for about 10 years. I built a little agency which was doing front end development work, mostly building WordPress themes for customers.
Mhm.
Over time, we'd built some good connects with people who were giving us regular business. So that was good. Some folks, I'd hired a lot of people. I'd hired about 10 people, and it was like a very chill sort of a company. People would play games, leave on time, come on time. Also they stayed for a
Setting the
very long
culture
time.
right, yeah.
Correct. It was like fun. We had like people who had stayed for 7 years. So that got a little expensive because every year there would be increments, and
Mhm.
then I was the only person doing that, so it was not fun for me, just constantly looking for new projects, everybody's project management. I'd
Mhm.
stopped developing myself. Like I knew JavaScript, but at some point I sort of stopped keeping up. I would just make sure, everybody knew what needed to be done and made sure the taxes were being paid and things like that
So
for
is
the
this company
business.
still going or have you guys stopped?
My company's gone, in the sense that I stopped that company, and we basically were hired by another IT services company. This this was basically a customer who had also started another big company, and we at that point, it was 10 years for me, and I was pretty burnt out. Not really burnt out, but I was a little like
You,
frustrated. I wanted to
yeah.
do something new. I wanted to do bigger projects, like enterprise projects, instead of these SMB level work.
Uh-huh.
At that point, we were building like websites, mobile apps, web apps,
Mhm.
mostly front end stuff. I had a solid team. So all of us basically moved to a new company, where we were doing the same things. I was managing much bigger projects. That was like AI services, but not really like LLM kind of AI. It was like boring math, calculate probabilities kind of AI. But for like business processes, very boring, like 16 different applications that a billion-dollar enterprise would use. You will try to find like how to make it faster. It involved making websites, it involved making web applications, and basically like the consultants would call that like digital transformation. So it would mean like a lot of money saved for these
Mhm.
companies.
Mhm.
I worked there for 3 years. I was basically like head of delivery. I think my
Mhm.
actual designation was director of delivery, and I had a huge team and multiple time zones. It
So,
was it
so,
was
so,
very
so to summarize, like you have a good prior experience of running a business, running a company, making sure of deliveries and customer success also, I believe. Yeah. So this summarizing that and then jumping into HR tech, like from biotech to building websites to HR tech. Give me a little idea about how that happened.
correct. Correct. So 3 years into this company, I was pretty like burnt out. I was working with a lot of different people, and I was working in a very small company before, and then I was working in a very big company. At some point, I had like 60 people reporting to me in like four different time zones, including the Pacific time zone, which sucks. If you're in India,
Mhm.
it's like our evening is their
Yes, in the
morning, right?
morning.
So I decided to leave. I got on a sabbatical. That didn't work out for me. I said I'll leave and I'll figure something out for myself again. And that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to basically take a break and do nothing for a long time. Obviously, you don't really have cash forever. So then I wanted to start making some inroads into getting some cash flow back. So that's when I decided to start building projects again, along with like old contacts that I had. So Nikhil used to work with me in my old agency.
Oh, okay.
So we'd worked there already. He had left and he'd started his own agency. It was also like a small agency doing web application development. And he's like the lead developer, also the owner of that agency. So we were still working together on some sort of projects, always to in the middle. I was in touch with him. We said, like, we should build some products, MRR, make sure that we we have some sort of passive income. And so we decided to give this a shot. Obviously, it doesn't work right from the get go, which
Mm-hmm.
both of us knew because we'd built some things that had worked, had not worked. I've built actually a lot of projects for customers that have
Mm-hmm.
not worked because
Oh,
they would pay us money as
yeah.
developers and then just like, this is an idea, let's build it. And we would build it. I think building is the easy thing, but
Yeah.
selling is not
Selling
really.
is the hardest thing, yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, you have been in that place where you are building products for customers which are not working out, and then coming to a place where you're just building one product and you don't know whether it's going to work out or not work out, right?
Correct.
So, yeah. And so, how, like you said, you met your co-founder in your previous agency. How has that journey been being you two partners? I think now it's been 2+ years as partners, right?
Yeah, it has. So it's mostly like friends, actually. I don't think of it as partners. I mean, partnership is just like being friends who meet very regularly and sort of work next to each other. That's sort of what I think of as partners. But going back to the story, right? 2021, we both decided to start building some apps. We had obviously everybody's done these 20, I mean, 10, 12 products in 12 months challenges. We thought we were great and we would do 2 weeks, one project in 2 weeks. So we had 2 week project.
Okay, great.
And we had sort of limited scope as well. So the first project was the Twitter inspiration app, which sends you a something to write about. You've not tweeted today. You
Mhm,
should tweet about this. It gives you an
mhm,
idea. It has
mhm.
like a bunch of ideas and it'll give you some random post
I think there
ideas.
was a phase where a lot of Twitter apps were coming before, of course, Elon decided to uh,
Exactly.
charge the APIs to some million
Correct.
bucks, whatever. But yeah, there was this phase, right? I think 2021, around 2021, there were a lot of huge number of.
Even before 21, right? I think Twitter API was open more
Mm,
and it was like very developer, I wouldn't say developer centric, but at least like a little more open towards developers building on it. They
mhm,
wanted developers to do something.
mhm.
Actually, the history of Twitter is all about like developers doing something and then Twitter taking those ideas and then building on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Everything like
Mhm,
retweets are something that Tweetbot built out, and
mhm,
developers have done things for Twitter. That's like the bottom line. But what we wanted to do was something that could be done in 2 weeks and something we could give out to people. And Twitter was where I was at that moment. So I thought, let's just continue building on Twitter for Twitter. So I built this inspiration app. It would give you like a streak count as well. You are on a 7 day streak. Very simple. Didn't take us 2 weeks. It took us 4 weeks, but at least we had a website, web app, landing page, all of that. We launched it. Obviously, crickets. I was using it, and I liked that portion of it. Right, at least it wasn't a failure because I was using it very regularly.
mhm, mhm.
I don't know. I mean, we weren't even keeping track of how many people really signed up. I think about 70 people signed up, but there was no real
Still a good.
monetization model.
I mean, still for starters, it's a good number.
Yeah, it was free.
Yeah.
I think that's obviously some people just want to try it out, from the indie hacker community. They also have similar challenges. And I was in a lot of groups who were writing every day and all that. So it's fairly straightforward to build also, but there was no monetization model. So that's something we figured out.
Mhm.
Also, it was difficult to charge people who were sort of trying to figure it out on Twitter. And it's something that isn't really giving
Yeah.
you a lot of value. It's not full featured like at that point. I think Hype Fury was just coming out, and all those other Twitter big clients which had these features inbuilt like Black Magic,
Mhm.
Tony Dinners.
Bonus.
And yeah, so that didn't work out because we couldn't really charge people. And obviously, we needed to make money. We are both like, I mean, at some stage in our life where we are spending some money. So if you charge somebody like $2 a month, it wouldn't really make sense. You need a lot of people. So we gave up on that idea. Um, I wasn't happy with the time it took to code this. So then I was like, next project is going to be no code instead of this, whatever Nikhil
So
was
were you
interested in then.
involved in the development journey as well, or were you just as like doing
No,
the
not
market?
involved in the. I would say
Oh,
I'm not involved in the development journey, but at the same time, I feel like I'm more of a developer than regular people
mm-hmm.
because I'm involved in the, like, I can sort of do things. When I talk to people about this, they say, no, you're totally a developer, but I don't feel like a developer ever. I never do any development, is what I want to
I
say.
think you have to like retrospect and in introspect and see whether you like but because mostly developers it's difficult for them to even switch from one project to another project. So and they get really excited about one idea and they'll be like, yeah, let's build this, or another idea, let's build that. So I think what was your focus at that point of time?
No, our focus was basically just to try it out, see if it works. And our working was that basically be able to charge money for an idea
Monetization.
if
Mm-hmm.
it was monetizable.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't think about monetization then. So while we were building it, we started thinking about, oh, how are we going to monetize? We had no ideas about whatever is the journey of the app. We thought it would be cool. We started building it. We built it. We had a deadline for ourselves, which we overshot by 100%, but it was still 4 weeks. That's fine. And then we built it, we launched it, then gave up on it. I mean, we didn't really work on it every day. It was something that was sort of done. The next project was uh, I was in a course, a link, sort of writing everyday course called Ship 30. And it was really tough for me to keep track of like who was writing what. So I got Nikhil to build this no code. It was also connected to the Twitter API where you would find out whoever is connected on this particular system. Like we could track a particular handle and find out if they've tweeted with a hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
There is a tweet 100 challenge as well that has something like this, which gives you a little Airtable table saying these people have tagged tweet 100 on this tweet. Then you would get to see other people's streaks. It was like an accountability leaderboard,
Mm-hmm.
which was built on Airtable using Zapier.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically no code in the back end. And that was also a mess to build in the sense that no code is sounds simple
Yeah.
from the outside, but when you start going into like details, it's very difficult to like um build out the different
Entire
sort of
infrastructure
interfaces.
without
Yeah,
code. Yeah.
exactly. It's yeah, all the polish is missing in sort of no code
Yeah.
tools
Yeah.
that you
Absolutely.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. Absolutely.
And Nikhil
So,
was frustrated with it. So also it was not really like it was not like a happy project that way.
mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we weren't happy with the outcome, but it did work.
Mm-hmm.
It was able to track people. It was able to track the tweets, but I couldn't sell it at all. Like we had decided that we'll have some monetization model. We built a nice landing page, but I couldn't get in touch with all these cohorts or people who are running cohorts of online courses, right? To
Mm-hmm.
show them, that this is a tool that you can buy and then your
Yeah.
students can use.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like B2B, which made sense at that moment that businesses will pay us money, but it was difficult for me to get in touch with these businesses because I have no idea myself, but I've not never run a cohort based course. And also um, the no code thing was like a poor foundation for
Mm-hmm.
us to build on top of. If you wanted to build features, how do you build features? Oh, it's so complicated. Zapier
I
starts
think I
charging
think
you
you
like 10
you brought
times.
in a very interesting point where you said that you were trying to reach out, like your entire model or your entire product was to for businesses, right? And in a domain which you were not very much aware of, or you were not very much involved in, or it did not trace back to your past history. So was it like a lot of us, I mean, a lot of founders face this, that they build a project, they start working on a project, But when it comes to selling, they are not aware of, okay, who do I have to sell and how do I approach these people? So how did you combat this when you launched HireVire, and like when did you when you came to finally your this project of HireVire? Yeah.
Correct. So HireVire has been sort of different in that sense. I was hiring previously, so I had a general idea about what is involved in hiring. But at the same time, I was hiring like two people a year, right? So it was very sort of slow hiring.
Mm-hmm.
Um, HireVire, we still haven't figured it out, right? The domain, this kind of software, HR tech software, is very useful for people who are either in the process of hiring today, so they're like operations folks, founders, or whoever needs a person in their team, or companies that are managing recruitment for somebody else. So they're recruitment firms of various sort of sizes or capacities
Yeah.
that they're hiring people
Basically
for you.
recruiting
Like
agencies. Yeah.
exactly, agencies. So I never run any recruiting agencies. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have like a domain. I don't have like a network of recruiting agencies. So August of 2022 is some time when we started building the app HireWire.
Mm-hmm.
We had like a basic version of the app ready, which was just allow the employer to set up one question and allow the candidate to answer that one question as a video. And that's something that I started showcasing to everyone. We had a landing page ready as well. Everyone is basically people who are hiring on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when we thought that, recruitment agencies would be a good fit. I started DMing those folks, but everybody rejected me. I got a lot of, lot of rejections from recruitment agencies who are like, this thing already exists. Here is another link
Mm-hmm.
of another app that we've tried that has not worked. This is the problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would try to post on Reddit, and Reddit, is recruiters are not really that
Correct.
savvy
Yeah.
on Reddit, but the
Yeah.
people who are looking for jobs are, and
Jobs
they are
are.
like,
Yeah.
I hate this.
I have all the time in the world to just please give me some job. With
No,
what is the
but
next
they
job?
are also applying on systems similar to this, and they are seeing they're not getting a response back or they're not getting a job, and then they're very unhappy. So we
Yeah.
would get roasted, basically.
Oh, understood, understood. Yeah. So basically, you would never got a response. People wouldn't get response back. And why are you even making this kind of a, yeah, got
Correct.
it.
And it's like I didn't even talk to anyone, and I'm not getting through. Like I was rejected, but I didn't get to talk to anyone. That was the kind of feedback we got. And it's all correct. I mean, obviously, people who are doing their jobs might know their job better. We were trying to understand how this sort of fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think looking back, we also had like a thesis in place that we would use video to make the recruitment process better. I think we tried to sort of force fit that into the recruiter's workflow. And also, video is not new in the sense that
Yeah.
I think there was a company in 2008. Like we have a lot of competitors in this particular field, which is one-way video interviewing. And one company even launched in 2008 when video was new, and they have been doing it since then.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also something that a lot of people have tried at different stages, and they understand the kind of effects that this has. So a lot of recruiters I spoke to, the ones who were willing to speak to me, they were like, this doesn't work. This did not work for us. This is what we tried. Yeah. And so that was a little like disheartening. But at the same time, we kept seeing a lot of competitors who
Mm-hmm.
are making good money
Mm-hmm.
somehow, right? They were
Yeah.
charging like $300, $400 a month, obviously on their prices that they're showing on their website. And then a lot of companies would not even show prices on their website. They would just be like, contact us
That is
for
right. Mm-hmm.
sales, right? So that kept us going.
Mm-hmm.
I had a runway. I was doing a little bit of like projects on the side. Like I was doing a few consulting projects for whoever my old sort of network would have some project for some web app, mobile app kind of a job. So I had that cash flow. So we decided to just give it like a good shot. And then that's when we landed on AppSumo. AppSumo is basically a lifetime deal website where you can put your product up in the marketplace. AppSumo has two sort of revenue models as well. There is marketplace and there is select. Marketplace is where AppSumo charges you 30% of the money, and select is where they charge you 70%. But select is where they make your marketing
Yeah.
material as well, and they promote it like heavily.
Mhm.
But we decided to go on marketplace. We decided to list as a marketplace product. We had to do a few customizations to launch on marketplace, but I mean the timing of our launch coincided with Black Friday. That was pretty good for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Black Friday is a great time to launch, and I think we get a lot of much more traffic than the usual traffic that AppSumo receives. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's something that happened, and basically we launched on November 22nd, and in that week we made about $1,000 on AppSumo, which was surprising to us because we'd made $0 since August.
Yeah.
So that was like some validation, that somebody at least wants to see this product. We had really good experience with the AppSumo customer support as well. When we gave them something, they gave us some turnaround times, which they met. They tested the app, then they put it on the marketplace as soon as we wanted to change something. So obviously, AppSumo people, the customers on AppSumo, they want a lot of different things. They're constantly telling you. But in our case, there are a lot of competitor products. So there were people who had already tried these competitor products who are telling us, I have used this
Yeah.
product. This is what it does. Can you do this for me?
Correct,
We
exactly.
say
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
So
no,
just
maybe.
going a little bit back, like you started with saying that this is a very competitive landscape, right? It's a very competitive market where you guys jumped in. How did you find, like, of course, till you got into AppSumo, there was a time where you found that, well, this is our differentiating, this is our differentiator, this is where we can stand out, or did it happen like after that?
No, it's still not happened. We have no differentiation. And you were actually you were not there uh, at the indie mastermind meetup
Yeah, I
in
was
Chennai.
there. Yeah.
Hopefully, like Anurag told you about this whole controversy around HireVire. People would keep asking me, HireVire, what is your differentiator? And I would have no answer to that. And I think I was a little bit like it's a question that you need to ask yourself, that do you want to be a differentiated product, or do you want to just build something that works for some people and
Yeah,
get in
because the
front of
market
them?
is huge, right? Because it's like we just found out, it's a competitive market. It's a huge market, and there are a lot of players playing in this market. So, and if they want this particular product, then I'm sure you also have a place in that particular market with the same set of features, with the feature parity, but probably do you have a lower pricing point or anything of that sort?
Think pricing is not such a great differentiator. I
Mm.
mean, we do have a lower pricing point, but that's not really helping us to
Yeah.
become differentiated right now. We have a different pricing model, which is the
Mm-hmm.
lifetime pricing model right now,
Mm-hmm.
and that is working for us at this moment. But Ayush, actually from Indie Mastermind, he calls this the product channel fit as well,
Mm-hmm.
not a product market fit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
AppSumo as a channel, it's where HireVire works best because we are offering lifetime deals for this particular product, and there is no other product on AppSumo that does this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a product that does this kind of a thing, that does work and has like a bunch of features around doing recruitment. I mean, obviously, since we launched, we've built a lot of features that customers have requested. So we've gotten, I would say, like 100 times better since we launched. But at the same time, we are not really differentiated. Sometimes it's just having a product is like having a little convenience store
Mm-hmm.
in your own corner
Own
of the
town.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are other convenience stores, but
Mhm.
if people are comfortable with you and are able to get what they want, they're not really looking for the best world class product because
Yeah.
there is nothing like world class one way video interviewing.
And
Everything is pretty much
and
the same.
actually, there's nothing like if you build something, differentiating probably product with a differentiating feature or something. It's not that something will someone will not copy, or even the funded, funded companies or venture funded companies, they can copy it at any point of time, or they can put that feature out there like in a matter of days. So what I feel is like even I have faced this, that since we are building this feedback management and feature management tool, so and we faced the similar thing, like what is your differentiator? We started with a differentiator model, but then that did not really stick on with the users. What users really wanted was the same set of features which other companies are offering. So yeah, I totally get you in that sense, that you do not have to have a big differentiator of sorts to survive, exist, and to be in the market, right?
Exactly. But you need to have a little corner of the internet that is yours,
Mm-hmm.
that people who are looking for like a unique set of, I mean, they have a unique background, they have
Yeah,
some unique
yeah.
needs, and if they are able to find you,
You would.
you at the right time, maybe then that sort of fit can happen. I would not say that I'm an expert at this. I am still trying to figure this out, but we are not differentiated. Is something I can sort of convey, right? I don't think that form builders in general can.
Yeah.
We just want,
I know.
we're
I don't
glorified
get.
form,
I
right?
just don't
We
get it. I mean, I till now I have come across probably 20 form builders, and everybody is making money. And
no,
everybody.
you're misunderstanding. I'm saying the HireVire is a form builder.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about form builders as well. So there's another segment of this, if you know, you're aware of, right?
Obviously,
Like
obviously, correct. Form
uh,
builders. Yeah.
people are trying, like, building forms, and there's like
Tally.so, for
Tally,
example. Yeah,
there's Tally,
correct.
there's Make Forms. Now U Form came into the picture, and
Correct.
everybody's making money. So I was like, okay, and it's the same thing. It's the same set of, not
Correct.
even all the features that Typeform is giving, but it's the same thing. But yeah, you have to find, what really stood out was like you have to find the right market for you where you can stand
And
out.
form builders
Yeah.
have been in existence since
Still,
forever.
yeah,
There is Google Forms, there is Survey Monkey. I
yeah,
don't know whether you remember Survey Monkey or
yeah,
Woofu.
yeah. SurveyMonkey
They're
still.
like
I mean, if I put forms, they run ads on a form
exactly,
builder. Yeah.
exactly. Right. So those kind of products existed, they still exist. I think you can give a little bit of sort of niche use cases, good experience, good support,
Hmm.
be there when somebody needs you,
Yeah.
and then that's enough to build a
And I
product.
think a lean team, small team really helps out in that way, because if you are actually approaching a bigger player in the market and you are running into some issues, or you need help or support in terms of at that point of time, I think a lean team, a small team really helps out in that way. Yeah.
Sure, if you say so, but I don't know. I mean, big team would also help, right?
No, no, I
You would
have
have like
personally.
dedicated customer support people. You would have like somebody replying
That
instantly.
that are only for enterprise. What I've seen, only enterprise clients, they have success agents and basically customer success managers and customer support that are dedicated to that particular, your product or something like that. Otherwise, if like most of the things that we use, like let's say Apollo, or if you want to reach out, you first have to find out where to reach out. Where is it? Where do I reach out? What is your number? What is your contact
There's a
email
chat
address?
button
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah, the
Chat
chat
with it.
button also, it's a lot of things is now automated, right? So to
Correct.
reach out to a person behind the company, I believe is becoming a bit more expensive and bit more difficult than it used to be. Or this is how a small product can differentiate from a big player in the market.
Sure, sure. That's true. All of what you're saying is true. But at the same time, I don't want to reach out to a person. I want to find like a help document which can answer my problem. Or I can I love bots because
Yeah.
bots will point you to the right sort of. Are you talking about, do you mean this? Here is a document that'll help you. Here is
Yeah.
the video that'll help. And these videos are created by people who are like,
Yeah, yeah,
in
absolutely.
the right space, or they're creating all this marketing material,
Mhm.
which is kind of pointing you in the right direction. Whatever is new and exciting, they'll show up right on front, or they're doing like a big case study about like their customers. I think big teams have some space as well in terms of like education and all that. I think they're doing a good job. uh Nothing wrong with being a big team, nothing wrong with being a small team. It's obviously
Yeah.
much easier to be profitable
Mhm.
if your expenses are lower and if you're making more money than you're spending.
Mhm.
And if you have fewer people, obviously you'll be spending less money. We also use a lot of commoditized sort of infrastructure, so we don't really spend a lot of money there. And yeah, generally, I think it's okay to be undifferentiated.
Mhm.
It's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
It's okay to build something that people are using. It's good to make something that you would use yourself, that you can continuously use, so that
And
you're
yeah.
like dog fooding the product
Mhm.
yourself. If there is something that is problematic, it's good to have lifetime customers also who are very um, sort of involved in the product. They're
Mhm.
rooting for you. They want it to be better. They want things to be fixed because they're sort of invested in your journey as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming to lifetime deals, like since you launched on AppSumo, and I think a lot of other like new entrepreneurs who are or new Hindi hackers who want to go take that step of launching a lifetime deal, they have found like even for me myself, I found it very difficult to understand whether I should go with AppSumo, when should I go with AppSumo, what are things to be prepared for. Is there a separate, like completely separate audience that I have to cater compared to what I would cater to in an MRR journey. So tell us a little bit about that.
I don't understand the question, but I'll try to rephrase your question, right? So you're saying that if I'm a new person, would you recommend
Yeah, what first
AppSumo
is
or a
basically
lifetime deal?
would you recommend a lifetime deal to go with first of all if you've just started out and you're trying to
Correct.
monetize your business model or get some validation from your customers. So
Correct.
first is would you recommend something like AppSumo? Second is how prepared should one be in terms of serving these AppSumo customers, the LTD customers? Yeah.
Correct. So lifetime deals are complicated in that sense that you need to be able to service customers for the lifetime of the product. So if it's a product that you're going to just start and stop, then it's probably not a good idea to put it on some sort of lifetime deal platform, right? Because products inherently need some maintenance, need some support, need some sort of improvements regularly. Otherwise, they're as good as dead.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be working on a dead product. You want something to be like really nice, something that people are excited to use. And lifetime deal, if you're new and if you've just built something, then the barrier to entry to lifetime deal marketplaces is also not as easy as you would think, right? You need something solid that
Mm,
somebody can test, and there is some reputation involved for the lifetime deal platform as well. If they're selling this, it
mm,
better not be a complete like waste of money.
yeah. Mhm.
There has to be some potential, and that's something that you should be able to convey. If you're able to do that, if you have the sort of commitment to do this for, let's say, the next 3 years or so, is a rough number I'm saying. Or you think that it can be a little low maintenance later going forward once you figure out the sort of core use cases or the core workflow. In that case, lifetime deals are amazing, right? They give you an audience automatically because the marketplaces have this audience of people who are constantly looking for like the next good deal. Lifetime deal marketplaces usually have an audience of like entrepreneurs as well, people who are in want to do
Process of
something but are
selling
not
them.
correct, but they're not 100 like a very dedicated set of users,
Mhm.
in the sense that they're not using going to use this forever.
Yeah, they might think
At
there is a use of this and they might just buy it, but you don't know whether they are going to be your regular user or not.
Exactly. And they will tell you a lot of things that they know about their particular use case in a much more simplified, manner. Like they're very savvy people technically, because you need to jump through a few hoops to use any lifetime deal product. I feel like most lifetime deal products are not really like straightforward to use. You need to take a coupon code, you need to go
Yeah,
paste it somewhere, you need to understand that some might be free, figure out the pricing, all of that. So these are savvy customers. They've probably used a competing product, so that's like market feedback, competitor like intelligence right there. So they'll give you a lot of information. These guys are very happy to get on calls right from day one. We have this onboarding email, which I send to people with my Calendly link, and people would jump on a call. They would be like, sure, no problem, of course. And this is the problem we have. This is how we're solving it today. This is what worked with your software. This is what I would love to see. And that sort of a thing is great to keep track of on like a product roadmap sort of a tool as well. And then you can then keep looking at, okay, 15 people asked me the same thing, so it's probably the most important thing for me tomorrow. So that kind of feedback I could not collect from cold DMing folks.
Yeah.
And if you don't have an audience already, or if you don't have a network of folks who are in that particular domain, like for us, this was HR tech.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we built this was because we thought, that this would be useful.
Mm-hmm.
If I had seen something like this in the past, it would be useful for me. As soon as we built it, we saw that there are already so many products. So they would be, obviously, it's useful because these guys are surviving, 2008, 2012, they're getting funded. We got just a lot of like feedback that way, but not direct feedback. So once we got on the lifetime deal marketplace, AppSumo, we got a lot of direct feedback from our customers saying, this is useful. I used it. Then we would get like notifications of, um, we have a lot of notifications set up for like indie hackers. I think this is a good idea to see product usage. Every time somebody applies, it shows up on our Slack channel. Every time,
No,
like
can you just go back to what is this notification? Where have you set up notifications? In Google Alerts or?
on Slack. So within the database, whenever like a new application is created,
Mm-hmm.
we get a notification in a Slack channel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On Slack, we say, okay, there is a new application
Mm-hmm.
from this person for
Okay.
this particular job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At the end of at the beginning of each day, I get a notification saying, okay, these many new jobs were created, these many new accounts were created, views happened, like a little table, which is basically information that's present in the database, right? So it's really like a good thing to be able to see people use it. And it's great to be able to sort of rent somebody else's audience
Mm-hmm.
without any investment. I think that's I would totally recommend it to people who don't have that audience already.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have an audience in the domain that you're already building for, then you don't need AppSumo or don't need lifetime deal
Yeah.
marketplaces.
Yeah.
You can just start charging a
Mm.
monthly subscription or a one-time payment depending on what works. um right, I think it depends. Your use case is going to be completely different from mine. Also, if you have like recurring costs, maybe it's not
Yeah.
such a great idea to do lifetime deals. But if you have recurring costs like
And
database costs, or just like maintaining the software that is using, like if you have a chat software, if you have help desk software, that's something you'll have to pay for anyways, right? You'll have to pay for if you have one customer or if you have 5,000 customers. So
mm.
that's not really something that will bother you
But I
if
think in for AI, I think when you're using token system, that is something that might become a hurdle at some point of time because that's based on usage. But I think there are a lot of LTD launches which I've seen that they are also charging on based on usage. So I
correct.
think that can also be combated in some way or the other. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So lifetime deals, good idea if you want customers right away. Obviously, you want to keep them for some time and you want to be able to give them that service for a long time. So you need to be able to have that commitment in yourself, that you're
Mhm.
going to be working on it. It shouldn't be like a 12 projects in 12 months sort of a project, which is,
Because
you've
then
seen.
then next time you launch, they'll be like, no, thank you, I don't want your product. You'll
Exactly.
shut
That's
this down as
possible.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's possible. Um, but it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, so AI kind of products is complicated because you need some metric of how much usage will happen, how much it costs you today, how much it will cost you in the future. For us, we are on AppSumo and we do have some costs per customer. If suppose a customer goes crazy and uploads like 5,000 emails and they send out 5,000 emails, that's something that we have to really sort of bear,
Mhm.
even if they are like one-time customers. The good thing about hiring, or at least this particular space, is that it's very there are like peaks and valleys.
Mhm.
Most of the customers are not hiring all the time. They're like companies, businesses, They're hiring once in a while. So if there is a peak, it's just a peak for like a week or two. We get
Mm-hmm.
a lot of applications and then that job closes and then there is nothing. Recruitment agencies, on the other hand, they are like constant, but our costs are very, very low compared to, I'm guessing, what the other players in the market are using, because the kind of backend that we're using is just commoditized. Like we are spending like $5-10 a month for video hosting. And if somebody is willing to pay us like $900 a month, $900 one time,
Mm-hmm.
we can probably support them for like 90 months or something like
Yeah,
that. Like,
so
so
that makes sense when you are just doing when your cost is around $5, but if you have to support them for 30, sorry, for 3 years or something, if I take a lifetime value, so that will make sense. I mean, and the subscription cost also, I mean, the lifetime deal license cost should be around that terms, right? So like, because I
exactly.
remember, I know in AppSumo you go with a certain cost structure, payment structure, and then they come back with 75% reduction in that. Like, no, this is what you can offer on this platform. So how did you come about, like, starting with very small, numbers, and then increasing the numbers on the way, so that you can
So
support
that's
these kind of customers?
So that's something that did not happen with us. Actually, we had a limit on the number of jobs and the number of responses you can get um, for your lifetime of that particular job when we posted. So that was the sort of plan we had proposed to AppSumo, and they accepted it. Our starting was like $39
Mm-hmm.
one time, but for 5 jobs and
Mm-hmm.
50 responses,
So it's a good,
which
it's
is
the good thing is to actually put limits in the first
exactly
time
some sort
itself.
of limits
Some,
somewhere.
yeah.
It is for the lifetime of your product,
Mm-hmm.
but also you have some limits.
Mm-hmm.
And AppSumo accepted it. They did not have a problem. We did not make it stackable when we launched, so we only had 5 jobs. But as soon as we launched, people started coming back to us saying, I want more jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So then we said, some people said we need unlimited jobs. We said, okay, what is the most money that we can think of? We thought, oh, it'll be like $800. Why not charge like 795? So we said, buy 20 codes and then we will give you something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think. I think it was 20 codes and I think it was 39. 39 into 20 is 900, something like that. Yeah, I don't remember the details, but that was the most that we could think of. We did not think people would pay for it. So that's why we charged very little
Mm-hmm.
to begin with, which got accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And we had limits, so that way we knew that we would not really be overspending our side. Also, our costs are very, very low to run the system. And we also ran this as an experiment to see if it worked, because when we started, we didn't really think that it would work.
Mm-hmm.
We were There was like 2 or 3 months of just no's from everyone that we had reached out to. I had done like ads, I had done LinkedIn ads, Google ads, Facebook ads. I had
This is
done
before AppSumo or during AppSumo itself?
No, this is before AppSumo.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Before AppSumo. So this was cold DMs,
Mm-hmm.
email outreach, cold DMs on LinkedIn, and none of that worked. So I didn't really know if people would actually pay for something.
Mm-hmm.
So we charged very low, like we had kept it at like $39 to begin with, and also Black Friday helped.
Mm-hmm.
AppSumo was doing some sort of promotions themselves, so that's when people started reaching out, and we said, cool, if you want to pay more, sure, buy more codes, pay us
Yeah.
more money.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to be working. Like we started getting some payments that way.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, what we did was whenever people would give us feature requests, we would incorporate the feature request, but then create a new tier
Mm-hmm.
and add it in the next tier. So if you
Oh,
bought three
interesting.
codes,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
so everybody wanted custom domains, for
Mm-hmm.
example, right?
Mm-hmm.
We figured out how to do custom domains, and then we said, no, you have to buy 3 codes to do custom domains.
Mm-hmm.
Some person said, oh, why don't you give us AI transcripts? I said, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Figured that out. Actually, it's very easy to do
Mm-hmm.
transcripts from AI. We put that 5 codes now.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody said, oh, I want to remove your logo.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really hoping that this would be a little bit viral as well when we had started HireVire and AppSumo. That was like our thinking then. It's really good if you have a viral product, because lifetime deals are a good place. You do have sales.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a semi decent product, which is semi validated, sales are sort of guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much, depends on the need of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the need of the hour today is AI, right? Or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
AI products are the most selling because people are looking for good deals on AI products. The need of the hour is still not like recruitment related products. And that's like going to be evergreen, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but not, it's not a growing market in
Mm-hmm.
the sense that AI is a growing market. AI
Yeah.
products are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we wanted it to be a little bit viral. So we had put our logos everywhere. Like if you create an application page that you would share on a job board like LinkedIn or Indeed or Monster, then you would see a HireVire logo there.
Okay.
If you create a video on that application page, so employers get to create a video to
Mm-hmm.
showcase their company or their job, you would get a HireVire logo
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Like emails would go with HireVire logos. We would send an email to the candidate as well saying, you have applied to this job. That's great. Here is the link to your application. Why don't you send this to everybody? So that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that we had to stop because people started like telling us, it's not cool that you're sending all our applicants your
Mhm.
email.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's something we started giving them some flexibility in. That's still our default email,
Mm-hmm.
but you can go modify that if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
People said we want to remove your logo. We said, great. You have to go buy unlimited plan.
Mm-hmm.
We created some better plans on our website where people wanted to add team members. We said, why don't you pay us directly?
Mm-hmm.
And that's our like funnel on
Mm-hmm.
AppSumo right now, where
Mm-hmm.
if you are just want to try the app, you
Mm-hmm.
can buy one code.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, we've increased it from 39. I think it's $109 dollars for one code right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
And how much time did it take you to from 39 to 109 first year?
first year, I think we changed it to 109 in January. So
So somewhere
so
around
from
November 2022
November, and yeah, so
to
1 year,
1 year
little more
almost.
than 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we could have done this a little bit faster. It was a little bit of like confidence in ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of times I really didn't think that people would pay that much
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for this particular product. Like our funnel is that you can buy one code
Mm-hmm.
up to 10 codes on AppSumo,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can buy something on our website.
Mm-hmm.
So we would
I think that is very interesting that you kept a different pricing structure for AppSumo for LTD customers and one for who can buy with from you directly. And that I found it really interesting that if you just want to try, of course, you go ahead and try this. But if you want some more add-ons kind of a thing, then you can probably directly reach out to us and directly buy from us. Yeah,
And
interesting.
we promote this heavily everywhere on our AppSumo listing as well. If people ask us for features that are available, like you want unlimited jobs, sure, we do support unlimited jobs. You have to buy it on our websites. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want after unlimited jobs? You want people in your team to be able to manage it
Mm-hmm.
because you are not be able to, like, let's
Yeah.
say unlimited basically means like 10 to 20,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe the option to build for more in the future. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to manage it yourself. So you need to add team members, but team members is extra because if you can add team members and you can obviously pay us more money.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to like validate, I mean, not validate, like charge more based on the kind of requirements you have. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
so particular about this logo,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you can
Yeah.
pay more, right, to remove that logo. So that's sort of a funnel that has worked for us today. It's still working for us really well. People come, people buy the one code plan, they
Mm-hmm.
find out the software really works well. They do maybe a little bit of support interaction, maybe no support interaction, and then they go buy the lifetime unlimited plans on our website directly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you have
In
another Oh, I thought it's an MRR plan. In your website, you have another LTD plan. Oh, that's interesting. Very
Correct,
interesting.
correct.
Yeah.
Because lifetime deal customers prefer to buy lifetime
Lifetime
deal
deals. Yeah.
plans,
Yeah.
but you can
Yeah.
charge them a lot more. We have $1,000 plan and a $2,000 plan on our website, and we have people who buy one code and convert to the $2,000 plan as well.
Oh,
And a good way of looking at this is also considering like lifetime deal customers to be like paying for lifetime value of the product,
yeah.
something that's something that can be considered basically. So $2,000 could be considered lifetime value for our customers, and that's something that we're able to extract right away. And that has
Mm-hmm.
some value too, because if I keep this money in the bank account, it'll be giving me interest. Obviously, it's paying our bills right away, so that's a big plus for us also. So we basically
So
steer them. We
for these $2,000, like you increase the prices, right? Did you get them on the basis of your roadmap, or did you actually ship it and then you started increasing prices?
we shipped it, and then I mean it's very difficult to say that we will be able to ship things in the future,
Uh-huh.
and then it'll. So we basically when every time we add a major feature, we will increase prices.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
will increase prices throughout the product,
Mm-hmm.
or we will add it to a higher tier
Mm-hmm.
automatically, and we will keep it behind some sort of a feature gate.
Mm-hmm.
So even one code users can notice that there is a new feature that they would
Mm-hmm.
probably want to use, because all our features are also coming from customers who have requested them.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have like a bunch of features that people are
Mm-hmm.
requesting, but we don't really have the time to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever the top feature is, we will build it,
Mm-hmm.
and we will add it to a higher tier plan. So let's say transcripts
Mm-hmm.
from video interview. So you get like a 5 minute video interview, you get like 10 of these answers. It's very difficult to watch every interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so we added video transcripts, but we wanted people to pay more for that. And it's really easy to convince them as well that, it would cost us more money. So that's why we need more money from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Unlimited
Mm-hmm.
plans, same thing. It would cost us more money to support you in the future. So that's why. What about adding team members? So it would cost us more to support you and your team members, all these support requests. So we're charging you more. And so we have limits in that as well. If you want to add 5 team members, it's one price. If you want to add unlimited team members, it's one price.
I think
If you
you
want,
you you have really cracked the marketplace strategy, because usually people who are on Select, or let's suppose doing an exclusive deals with Sazilla or Rocket Hub, they are able to get a huge chunk in lifetime deal value. But being in a marketplace, it's for most of us, it has become really difficult to actually get people to first of all build that trust, because somehow people feel that okay, marketplace products are not something that I can trust with. They might just ditch me somewhere and go away. So that is one. You've over time, I think you have built a good amount of trust with your users, specifically lifetime deal users. And secondly, the pricing strategy that you've put, that has really helped you to monetize and create a good monetary model for at least lifetime deal customers. So
exactly.
coming to now, I believe now at some point of time you will, or you have already started looking for MRR, right? So what did you think? And like at that moment, it usually happens. Well, currently we are getting money from lifetime deals. We'll prepare a lifetime deal plan. And we are working on that. But now that you have jumped into, I believe you have jumped into the MRR game right now, right?
We are still in the lifetime. Like we have one leg in the lifetime channel and one leg in the MRR channel, because money is money, right? If
Yeah.
people want to pay us in advance,
Mhm.
should we say no to them?
No.
I'm giving you money.
I
And
know, right? Like, and specifically when you come from a background where you did not get money at all for any products you build, right? So now that you've gotten validation, you've gotten money, so yeah, how can you just like let it go?
correct.
Yeah.
I want to do MRR because I feel like MRR is good for valuations as well. And there is a little bit of consistency also, even though with AppSumo, we have gotten some consistency in our sales every month.
Mhm.
It's sort of automatic. It's nice to just see
The
that
sales and
money.
analytics dashboard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The AppSumo dashboard, I log in every day and see, okay, there is like a couple of sales. And then like some person is asking the same question again. So I'll reply with the same answer and send them a link to our lifetime deals. There is a early adopters page. So
Mhm.
that has all of the questions answered as well. You
Mhm.
get your answers. You also get to know about like our bigger plans and like a good so that's a general strategy I'm using, but it's working without any work from
Mhm.
our side.
Mhm.
We are building new features, but we are building new features with the aim to just get more money out of the lifetime deal people.
Mhm.
MRR is something I want to build, and I think it's a journey. We're at
Mhm.
the beginning of that journey. At about like 367 MRR right
Mhm.
now, which is so much better than even November of last month when we were zero MRR
Mhm.
last year.
Mhm.
So since November, December, I've started focusing on MRR. We've made some experiments and we've tried to charge different people different amounts of money, but we don't have the numbers in terms of the people visiting our website with the intent to buy
Survive.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is something we are still experimenting with. So hopefully we'll be able to stop lifetime deals once it reaches our
To a
current.
certain
Correct.
current MRR in terms of lifetime deals. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Correct. So MAR, right? Monthly
Yeah.
average revenue
Mm-hmm.
from the lifetime deal sales is about $4,000 right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Oh,
So we
amazing.
have to
Yeah.
reach $4,000 in terms of MRR to be able to even consider MRR
Consider,
to be.
yeah.
And at that point, it will be $8,000. So again, that question is going to be more and more um, like, what is more money? If we are able to crack, so we don't have a channel
Mm-hmm.
where we can find these people
Mm-hmm.
consistently
Mm-hmm.
yet. And we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to find, we're doing a little bit
Mm-hmm.
every day to try to figure that out. We're doing some SEO, we're doing some email outreach, we're doing some LinkedIn, like cold DM outreach. We're trying like content.
I
Mm,
think the marketplace thing was a blessing in disguise, what I have seen from your journey as well, because like if you've been on Select, you run a LTD for probably 3 months, let's suppose, and you've got, of course, like let's a total corpus amount of, let's say, $75,000 or $80,000. But then after that, what? After that, how do you start from scratch again? Because then it was a very limited time lifetime deal, and you've tasted blood, you've tasted money. So now, if you do not have a proper plan for MRR, and then it becomes quite pretty difficult for a business to sustain at that point of time, or even to get that motivation from the founders
correct. No,
themselves.
so but they wouldn't select us. So when we applied, right? We obviously applied for Select,
Mhm.
but they did not allow us to be in Select because I think AppSumo also understands the kind of
Yeah.
products. This is like a evergreen need, basic
Hmm.
tool that somebody needs versus something that is, hype driven.
Hmm.
I think Select doesn't even take those kind of things.
Yeah.
We would have tasted blood, maybe. I mean, we've tasted blood now, and I don't know how that is going to go. That's It makes sense in the sense that you need survival cash flow,
Yeah.
and that's good to have because otherwise you're not going to be building products. I think
Yeah.
I want to be building products. I want to build things that people are using. So it's really nice to see people using it. There are people applying. We get like 400 to 1,000 applications a day, which is amazing. But at the same time, we need money to survive
Correct.
regularly, and there is some consistency of income,
Mhm.
even though that's not something that entrepreneurs should be looking for, like
Mhm.
consistency of income, but it's something that
You can
gives you a little
aspire
bit of
for,
like
but
stability. Yeah.
yeah, got
Feels
it.
it's stable, like I don't think that I would want like a stable 9 to 5 job,
Mhm.
but at the same time I want that 9 to 5 income.
Yeah. Oh, it's a story with everybody, even with me. I think all founders, they jump into this section, this entrepreneurial journey to get the freedom, but also get the money that they were earning, or
Exactly.
even more probably. Yeah.
Exactly. So
So
if
so
this
we'll.
gives you money, you should continue. If this does not, you should not. And if there is another way to make money, I think we're looking for that other way of making
Mhm.
money.
Mhm.
Maybe lifetime deals would continue. Maybe will not. Maybe we will just be like charging $200 a month for MRR customers, and that might be more profitable. I don't know because the market has shown us that there are other products that exist like this,
Mhm.
which is a blessing also. Like
Yeah.
competition is basically validating your
Validating your idea. Yeah.
hypothesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break here. We'll go to some rapid fire questions that
Of
I'll throw
course.
at you, and you have to be quick, rapid, and probably if spicy, then of course it'll be
Spicy.
great. Yeah,
What is the
spicy as
definition of
well.
spicy, Priyanka?
It has to be a little controversial, the answers.
Controversial.
All right. So okay, let's start. One thing you like and you dislike about your co-founder.
I really like his focus. He sits down, does things without any sort of distractions, right? I dislike his um yeah, he's not really like interested in the kind of businesses that people are running. I'm always like trying to Google, oh, this new company that has joined, what do they do? It's so crazy that they're hiring like Filipino VAs and all that, right? Yeah.
Okay, so your next question. Rate your competitors. Willow, Spark Hire, Hireflix, RecRite, HireVire.
Right? Everybody's better than us. I think RecRite was the company that started in 2008 when
HireVire was
Uber.
also included in the list, by the way. I included HireVire also in the list.
How is
So,
HireVire a competitor? Okay, this is from the previous
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
HireVire is the last, I think, and then everything is better than HireVire. We are not amazing, but
Okay.
we
That's
get the
very
job done.
yeah, that's very humble and modest of you, but great. I mean, I think HireVire should be your biggest competitor. All right. So your favorite indie hacker?
No list.
No
I
list.
think
You
it
just
is
have to-
Tony Dinner. Tony Dinner, Din,
Tony Din. Yeah.
Tony Din. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Din.
Great.
He's very prolific. I like the way he keeps doing things, keeps making newsletters about his updates and things.
Your least favorite indie hacker?
Least favorite.
Yeah.
I don't have a least favorite.
Okay.
I don't know. Some guy who started yesterday.
That
and
doesn't
then stopped.
qualify. That doesn't qualify in my rapid.
Spicy.
Yeah, spicy.
Least favorite indie hacker.
Yeah. If you have someone you like, there must be somebody whom you dislike. Not his post again.
Sweaty startup. He's not an indie hacker really, but he's like one of those guys. His name is Huber something. Nick Huber.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like controversial post, bait,
Yeah.
gets
Okay.
hundreds of engagement, and then he will post his product. Which is, I have this great website that I built with a great team. This is my team, by the way, is my company. I have been using this great company to hire Filipino employees. My company, by the way, but I'm not going to tell you. But I'm not an indie hacker, really. He's like a businessman.
Okay. So this brings me to the next question. Shit posting or being real on Twitter?
Being real, shit posting, being real more than shit posting. But I think there is a time for shit posting.
Okay. Give an example of shit posting.
Shit posting is, when you say, you have launched too early. You have launched too early if you have a landing page.
Yeah, even that works. Yeah, I mean, shit posting does work. All
Shit
right.
posting works, yeah.
One line elevator pitch about yourself. Too slow.
It's too slow, right? Yeah, the elevator pitch, I mean, myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a self-learned developer, product person who wants to build something that people will use.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. $100,000 buyout or $10,000 MRR?
10,000.
Cool. Recent favorite book?
But 10,000 MRR is more in buyout.
Yeah.
It'll
But
be
I'm
like
just-
3x MRR,
3x,
right?
yeah. But
Valuation.
I just wanted to
300,000
understand.
buyout.
As of now, somebody wants to buy you out for 100,000, or you
Sure,
want to
sure.
aim for 10,000.
10,000 MRR. Yeah, it's much easier. Also, in the future, when they do buy you out, they'll give you 300,000 to
Yeah.
500,000.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
all right. Your recent favorite book?
Recent favorite book, it's an old book called Big Magic.
Mhm.
Big Magic is about living creatively, continuing to do creative things in the face of life.
Adversities. Yeah,
Adversity
interesting.
is a big thing. I think general, life problems.
I think our entire life has become a life of adversities.
That's a way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I would say we are living in abundance. What do you want? You will get it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that is, I think, a problem. We are frustration is when your internet is slow.
Yeah. Remember those days when actually it used to, that Internet Explorer used to go round and round and round, and we just sit in this cafes and you'd be like, chalo.
Your grandparents did not have the concept of internet ever in their lifetimes.
Yeah.
And then now you're like, oh my god, my picture is loading so slowly.
All right. A quote you have on your wall.
This is an old quote. I don't have walls now, but I used to have this quote called a master has failed more times than a beginner has tried.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. All right. If you were the founder of your competitor, what is one thing that you would change or improve? Any competitor, take any competitor.
Nothing. They're all awesome.
That's
Why?
really good way of looking at it. No, you must have found something not working or something that people have requested a lot of times or something you're no, nothing. Okay. All right.
They've done everything. Everybody is pretty much like similar in this domain, is what I want to say. The core is the same.
Mhm.
There are like maybe some niche features. I don't know. Something
Okay.
that is not
Okay.
working. Yeah.
Cool. A movie that you go back to often.
Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, I love that movie.
Everybody loves that movie. I don't know anybody who is not like that. Love that.
All right. I
I
think
haven't
that
seen
will.
it this year though. Yeah, that's a good reminder.
But I usually go back to my old favorite Harry Potter. Like I can watch it
Which one?
all Harry Potter, all the series, like from starting till end. And I think I go like watch it probably in a month. I watch it at least two or three times.
All, like
All,
all.
all.
That's a huge
No,
investment in
not
time. Are
at
you
all.
keeping it
I'd
running in the
rather.
background and then doing
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, yeah. So if I have to eat, if I'm eating, I'll play Harry Potter, or if
That's not
sometimes.
how you watch a movie.
No,
You should pay
no.
attention, like
I've
number.
always been that girl that who likes to have two good things at the same time. One my movie and one good food.
Interesting, interesting. I
Okay.
I like to watch movies with focus. Like I think movies are like they've spent so much
Huh,
time making this thing.
that's
You
right.
should give them some value.
So you don't
And
buy popcorns in.
I buy popcorn because my wife likes popcorn mostly, and my friends
Hmm.
also. But yeah, I mean, popcorn doesn't really stop you from watching the movie. You can like watch.
Similarly, my food doesn't stop me from watching movies.
Cool,
All
cool,
right.
cool, cool.
Okay. So this was interesting. I just want to understand what is next for HireVire. What have you planned next? What are we looking at in the next few months?
Yeah, next few months we are going to do MRR. We're going to do 2K MRR hopefully very soon. We were hoping to have it like this month. Not sure if that'll happen. Maybe it will. There's still 15 days left. Yeah, I think MRR journey is going to get better. We are doing some features. I mean, they're boring features around things that people want, like,
Yeah.
oh, it needs to connect to this other software and you need to be able to download videos and save it in Google Drive and features like that. They're all very, very like run of the mill, not exciting features, but they're very useful to people who are using it every day
But are
and
you
that.
ideating on are you brainstorming something new, something exciting?
We have just done some things on the side just for fun also. I built a Nikhil and I actually I have a lot of these dreams which are very vivid and
Mhm.
I remember them in the morning. So I would note them down in my pen and paper. Then audio pen came out and then I was recording them on audio pen, but it was really slow. The web interface
Mhm.
wouldn't really work in the morning when you're like tired and you have to allow your microphone one more time. So then I built this app, which basically Nikhil built this app. Obviously, when I say build, but I made sure there was a nice logo, there was a workflow, all that, and I'm using it every day. Which is called like a Dreamalizer app, which is on the App Store. Something that I'm using every day. Hopefully,
So what does it do? Like
what
does
does it do? It basically you can record an audio of your dream, and then it gives you an interpretation.
oh
Just ChatGPT.
interesting.
And ChatGPT has a nice prompt around it, like what would Freud say, what would Jung say,
Mhm.
what is like there are some therapy approaches to understanding dreams. So what would it happen if this, and what's your subconscious trying to tell you? So it'll give you a nice interpretation of your dream, and everything is kept on device, so it's like private.
Great, interesting. So I think I'll replace my partner with your app because the first thing that I do in the morning is like even I recollect my dream and I start sharing it with them. What do you think this means? I mean, and dreams are really very vivid. It starts from somewhere, it ends somewhere, the middle is something else, and then you're like wondering in the morning, okay, what exactly was this? So I think it's a very interesting app.
And you get like a transcript of your app as well in case you want to like copy it and Google it and things like that. And we're not seriously working on it. It's something we did in 2 weeks
Mm,
exactly, because also AI, we had all of this audio bit written for HireVire.
mm,
The app is also very basic. It's got two screens. So I'd say the subscription thing took us some time. We have built a subscription layer on top of it, so it charges you $2 a month. But it's also B2C, and you need like thousands of customers at
yeah,
B2C. Also
that.
marketing.
But
I
I think
don't
that
know.
this is something that you guys are just doing, like, out of your own
Part time. Yeah, I
part
mean
time. Yeah.
stopped also. We built it, gave up. That is there. I mean, it's there now. Maybe we will do something in the future, something like that. Yeah, that's it. I mean, otherwise, HireVire is like the core focus of our lives.
Mm.
Yeah,
Great,
that's
great. So just now to just wrap everything up, what do you think? What advice would you give to young Sanat who just started out, building things, who have just transgressed towards, leaving this PhD and probably trying to build something in the SaaS space or even just do some indie hacking? What advice would you have?
I would say have the confidence to charge more. I think people want the things that you're building. And maybe if you start charging more from the beginning, they will start paying you more from the beginning, like something like that. It's a little bit of a leap of faith. You're
Yeah.
really scared to increase prices. And then once you increase prices, you're like, oh my God, nothing has changed.
Absolutely. I mean, I absolutely agree with you because this is what we also faced. For a very long time, we kept it at just $19, which was nothing, which was like peanuts for us. And because 30%
Obviously.
AppSumo also took away. And then
Exactly.
one fine day, decided, well, I'm just going to increase the prices. Sales might come, might not come. I and now that we are getting sales, now it feels so much better. Like, okay, from peanuts, at least there are now I'm getting nuts.
What's the current price, Priyanka?
Current is $45.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
And so one trick in AppSumo that we learned also on the way, I'm sure you will learn it as well, is when you change the price more than $10,
Mhm.
then you show up on the homepage for
Oh,
about a
okay.
week.
Oh,
Yeah, there
interesting.
is a deal going away soon banner that shows up that takes you to the homepage, and that gives you a huge spike. And that's something that we have done every 2 months, 3 months. Nikhil wants to do it every 3 months. We'll do it next month again, where we'll increase the price by $10.
Oh,
We'll go to
very
the
interesting.
homepage. A lot of people have a lot of FOMO,
Mhm.
like fear
Yeah,
of missing
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
They're
That's
like,
that's there. Yeah. And
yeah,
specifically
so
in lifetime deals, this happens a lot because
exactly.
I
It's
might
going
just
away.
miss it and I'll have to pay MRL because I'm a
Correct,
lifetime deal customer.
correct,
Great,
correct.
great, 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 Sana. Thanks. It was a great session. Great chatting with you, and looking forward to more of such sessions that we have. And
Hopefully.
until then, okay, chalo, bye
This
bye.
was
Take
fun.
care.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining in, tuning in, and listening in to the entire of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got some really great lessons to take away from this entire episode. This episode is brought to you by ProductLogz, a feedback management platform that helps you collect feedback, organize it, and also publish roadmaps, collect surveys, and publish change logs. Do check out HireVire as well. If you are someone who is recruiting and is getting overwhelmed with a lot of applications. And I will see you in my next episode. Till then, bye bye. Take care.